What is going on, everyone? Overfletch here, and today I'm bringing you my Ironman's guide to Gnome Restaurant. So I want to make a quick note that this is an Ironman based guide, meaning that if you're an Ironman, this is how my method, I would say, is to do the minigame. However, if your main account wanted to do this, you can definitely still follow along. However, there's probably a few things you can do, like buy certain things on the GE that an Ironman would probably have to go collect themselves. So without further ado, let's get right into the guide. In this guide, we will be discussing a few things such as what is Gnome Restaurant, the rewards you can be getting, the requirements, how to get the food that's do the minigame, and how to train the minigame itself. So some of you may be asking, what is Gnome Restaurant? Well, Gnome Restaurant is a minigame that has two very simple parts. The first part is you preparing 4 types of gnome food, which is Battas, Crunchies, Gnomebowls, and cocktails. The second part is you delivering these prepared foods to various gnomes across Gillinor. In this guide, however, we will be exclusively delivering to 2 gnomes, Captain Ninto and Captain Daerkin. People play this minigame in order to claim 2 rewards. The 2 uniques from Gnome Restaurant are the Gnome Scarf, which at the time of making this video has a 12.3 million GP value, and the Gnome Goggles, which have a 200,000 GE value at the time of making this video. Although as an Ironman, this is irrelevant since it doesn't give you any cash, but it's just nice fashion escape to put on your Ironman. The requirements for Gnome Restaurant are pretty straightforward. All you need is 42 cooking, completion of the fishing contest quest for Captain Ninto, and completion of the Gnome Restaurant tutorial, which, if you haven't done already, you'll just do right before you start the minigame. And I also personally recommend you having 27 crafting, 40 magic, and completion of the grand tree. Now 27 crafting is for doing rings, 40 magic is for teleportation to your house, and this is for teleporting to the Taverly house so you're closer to Captain Ninto to give him his food, and grand tree is for the spirit trees so you can get back to the gnome stronghold a little bit faster. Now, I have broken this guide up into 2 parts. The first part is making the food, and this includes all of the ingredients that you need. I will give you, and I will show you how to make every single piece of food. However, if you want to skip this part, you can click on the screen. There will be a pop-up somewhere, and it will bring you to part 2, which, bear in mind, you need to have annotations on for that. And also, I'm going to go ahead and say this, you might as well have annotations on just in case I make any mistakes. There'll be an annotation or something that will let you know the correction. But part 2 will be training the minigame with the food, and it will show my method and how I do it on my Ironman. So if you want to stick around, this is part 1 right now. So I have also broken part 1 up in 2 parts. This first part is going to be your shopping list for each ingredient you need to make one of each food. I like to stress that right now that the numbers you see on screen will be for one of each food, and then part 2 will be me showing you how to make each individual food. Now, this first part is the items that you'll need for one of each of the Battas. At first, you'll need 8 equa leaves, 5 Gnome dough, 5 cheese, 3 tomatoes, 2 king worms, 2 toad's legs, 1 dwellberry, 1 onion, 1 cabbage, 1 lime chunks, 1 orange chunks, 1 pineapple chunks, 1 gnome spice, and 1 Batta tin. To make one of each of the crunchies, you will need the following ingredients: 4 equa leaves, 4 Gnome dough, 2 chocolate bars, 2 king worms, 2 toad legs, 1 chocolate dust, 1 gnome spice, and 1 crunchy tray. Now I can make a mention that any number that you see with an asterisk or a little star, what that means is that is the minimum that you need, although the more you have, it doesn't really matter. Say for example, the crunchy trays, you can have, if you want to make 5 crunchies at a time, then you'll probably want 5 crunchy trays. But gnome spice, it doesn't matter, because gnome spice, you don't use it up whenever you make anything. To make one of each of the gnome bowls, you will need the following ingredients: 5 equa leaves, 4 chocolate bars, 4 gani dough, 4 king worms, 4 onions, 4 toad's legs, 2 cheese, 2 pot of cream, 2 raw potatoes, 1 chocolate dust, 1 dwell berries, 1 gnome spice, and 1 gnome bowl mold. To make one of each of the cocktails, you will need the following ingredients: 7 cocktail glass, 5 vodka, 5 lemons, 4 equa leaves, 4 limes, 4 oranges, 3 gin, 3 pineapples, 3 pineapple chunks, 3 pot of cream, 3 lime slices, 2 buckets of milk, 2 chocolate bars, 2 chocolate dust, 2 whiskey, 1 brandy, 1 dwell berries, 1 lemon chunk, 1 lemon slice, 1 orange chunk, 1 orange slices, and 1 cocktail shaker. Now, to wrap up all the food, this is what you need for all of the gnome food, one of each. So, say for example that you wanted to make 10 of every single type of gnome food, multiply what you see on the screen by 10. So say for example, if you wanted all the cheese for 10 of each gnome food, you would make 70 cheese. So, for one of each food, you will need the following ingredients: 21 equa leaves, 13 gani dough, 8 king worms, 8 chocolate bars, 8 toad legs, 7 cheese, 7 cocktail glass, 5 lemons, 5 onions, 5 pot of cream, 5 vodka, 4 chocolate dust, 4 limes, 4 oranges, 4 pineapple chunks, 3 dwell berries, 3 gin, 3 lime slices, 3 pineapples, 3 tomatoes, 2 buckets of milk, 2 lime chunks, 2 orange chunks, 2 raw potatoes, 2 whiskey, 1 brandy, 1 cabbage, 1 lemon chunk, 1 lemon slices, 1 orange slices, 1 Batta tin, 1 cocktail shaker, 1 crunchy tin, 1 gnome bowl mold, and 1 gnome spice. Again, if you didn't catch this the first time, the */* means that this is the minimum amount required for any amount of food that you make. So say for example, if you made 100 of each crunchy, you would only need 1 crunchy tin. Although if you're making a mass quantity, I would recommend you probably get more than 1. Now, whatever you want, however you want to buy, is preference to you. But this is the minimum count you need for at least 1. But for the asterisk, like I said, that's minimum for as many as you want to make. Now, I also like to point out, as an Ironman, a lot of these food might seem in weird places. However, it's really easy to get all of these food as an Ironman. Thankfully, the minigame pretty much provides you with almost everything you need. So if you need any ingredient for making all the food, you can actually get almost every single piece of ingredient here at the Gnome Hudo. But let me go ahead and mention that there are a few items that you cannot get here, but there's one more shop in the Gnome place that you can go get it from. These items are the cocktail glass, vodka, gin, whiskey, and brandy. And I will show you in a second where those are, but first, let me show you. This is Hudo. He's actually in the very northwest part of the floor 1 of the Grand Tree. He's actually right next to the minigame start, and right here he will have almost every item, like I said, other than those few I mentioned. Now I will show you that other shop. Here is the other shop to get the rest of the ingredients. So this is at the very southeast part of floor 1 of the Grand Tree, so the same floor as the minigame. You just go straight east and a little south. Is at Mr. Heckle Funch, and all of these items, the rest of the items I said that you could not get at Hudo, you can get over here. Like I said, the brandy, the gin, all of that. And there's also 2 more items that you cannot claim from either of the shops, which are kingworms and toad legs. Fortunately, you can also get them in the Gnome Stronghold itself. I will go show you those. If you need to collect toad legs or kingworms, then head over here to this swamp. I will show you on the minimap. It is the northwest part of the Tree Gnome Stronghold. So as you can see from here, it is straight west of the Grand Tree and a little northeast from the Gnomebowls field if you don't know where I am. Now the easiest way to get this is to activate area looting, and all you need to do is just run around and press spacebar. It's very simple. And I also brought a pack yak because whenever your inventory is full, you can summon a pack yak and then just put all your stuff into your pack yak and then repeat. I found that if you use the pack yak, you have to hop 1 time and then your inventory will be full, and then you can go back to the bank and then rinse and repeat. I remember not doing this too much, so you don't have to do this a lot. And then you can also the very bottom swamp toad, you can just spam click. So say for example you had 28 swamp toads, you can left click the very bottom one. It will remove the legs from all the toads. Now that we have our ingredients, it's time to make the food. Now for all Battas, prepare your Batta tins by adding Gnome dough to them and then cooking them on a gnome cooker. These half-baked Battas will be used for the rest of the Battas that we make. Make a half-made fruit Batta with 1 pineapple chunks, 1 lime chunks, 1 orange chunks, and 1 equa leaves. Use the half-made fruit Batta on the gnome cooker, and then finally use gnome spice on the fruit Batta. Make a half-made toad Batta by adding 1 equa leaves, 1 toad's legs, 1 gnome spice, and 1 cheese. Use the half-made toad Batta on the gnome cooker to make the toad Batta. Make a half-made worm Batta by adding 1 gnome spice, 1 kingworm, and 1 cheese. Use the half-made worm Batta on the gnome cooker, and then finally use an equa's leaf on the worm Batta to make the worm Batta. Make a half-made vegetable Batta by adding 1 tomato, 1 onion, 1 cabbage, 1 dwellberry, and 1 cheese. Use the half-made vegetable Batta on the gnome cooker, and then finally use an equa leaf with the vegetable Batta to create the vegetable Batta. Make a half-made cheese and tomato Batta by adding 1 tomato and 1 cheese to the half-baked Batta. Use the half-baked cheese and tomato Batta on a gnome cooker, and finally use the equa leaves on your cheese and tomato Batta. Prepare your Crunchies by adding Gnome dough to them and then cooking them on the gnome cooker. These half-baked Crunchies will be used for the rest of the Crunchies that we make. Make a half-made toad Crunchie by adding 2 toad legs and 1 gnome spice to the half-baked Crunchie. Now use the half-made toad Crunchie on the gnome cooker, and then finally use equa leaves on the toad Crunchie. Make a half-made spicy Crunchie by adding 2 equa leaves and 1 gnome spice to the half-baked Crunchie. I use the half-made spicy Crunchie on the gnome cooker, and then finally use gnome spice on the spicy cruncher. Make a half-made corn Crunchie by adding 2 kingworms, 1 equa leaf, and 1 gnome spice to the half-baked Crunchie. Now use the half-made worm Crunchie on the gnome cooker, And finally, use gnome spice on the worm Crunchy. Make a half-made chocolate crunchy by adding 2 chocolate bars and 1 gnome spice to the half-baked crunchy. I use the half-made chocolate chip crunchy on the gnome cooker. And then finally, use chocolate just on the chocolate chip crunchy. Prepare your Gnomebowl molds by adding Ninto to them and cooking them on a gnome cooker. These half-baked bowls will be used for the rest of the bowls that we will make. Make a half-made wormhole by adding 4 king worms, 2 onions, and 1 gnome spice to the half-baked bowl. Use the half-made wormhole on the gnome cooker. And finally, use an equals leaf on the wormhole. Make a half-made toad bowl by adding 4 toad legs, 2 cheese, 2 echo leaves, 1 dwellberry, and 1 gnome spice in the half-baked bowl, and use the half-made bowl on the gnome cooker. Make a half-made chocolate bowl by adding 4 chocolate bars and 1 equal leaves on the half-baked bowl. Now use the half-made chocolate bowl on the gnome cooker, and then finally add 2 pots of cream and 1 chocolate dust to the chocolate bowl. Make a half-made vegetable bowl by adding 2 onions, 2 raw potatoes, and 1 gnome spice on the half-baked bowl. Now use the half-made vegetable bowl on the gnome cooker, and then finally add 1 equal leaves to the vegetable bowl to complete your bowl. On the gnome cocktails now. Now create a mixed blast by adding 1 pineapple, 1 lemon, and 1 orange to the cocktail shaker, and then pour the mixed blast with a cocktail glass in your inventory and 1 lemon slice in your inventory. Create a mixed punch by adding 2 pineapples, 1 lemon, and 1 orange to the cocktail shaker. Now pour the mixed punch with the cocktail glass, 1 lime chunks, 1 pineapple chunks, and 1 orange slices in your inventory. Create a mixed blizzard by adding 2 vodka, 1 gin, 1 orange, 1 lime, and 1 lemon to the cocktail shaker. Now pour the mixed blizzard with a cocktail glass, 1 pineapple chunk, and 1 sliced lime in your inventory. Create a mixed short green guy by adding 3 limes and 1 vodka to the cocktail shaker. Now pour the mixed short green guy with 1 sliced lemon and 1 equal leaves in your inventory. Create a mixed blur special by adding 1 vodka, 1 gin, 1 brandy, 1 lemon, and 1 orange to the cocktail shaker. Now pour the mixed blur special with 1 cocktail glass, 1 lemon chunks, 1 pineapple chunks, 1 sliced limes, and 1 equal leaves in your inventory. Create a mixed dragon by adding 1 vodka, 1 gin, and 1 dwellberries to the cocktail shaker. Now add 1 pineapple chunks and 1 pot of cream to a cocktail glass. Use the drunk dragon on the gnome cooker. Create a mixed Saturday by adding 1 whiskey, 1 chocolate bar, 1 equal leaves, and 1 bucket of milk to the cocktail shaker. Now pour the mixed Saturday in a cocktail glass and use the chocolate Saturday on the gnome cooker. Finally add 1 pot of cream and 1 chocolate dust to the chocolate Saturday. Time to move on to part 2 of this guide. So part 2 is delivering of the actual gnome food. So for the minigame itself, this is the inventory that I personally would use. So 1 of each of the food, and by the way, if you're unsure if you have every single type of food, there's 20 in total, so if you have 5 rows of 4, you have all of them. So 1 of each of the food, and then at least 1 dueling ring and teleport runes for mobilizing army and the house teleport. So the minigame itself, all you need to do is right click on Olaf Jr. and click a hard job, you'll want to take a hard job, and usually you'll probably not get into Daerkin. All you gotta do is just refuse the job, and you have to wait 5 minutes to be able to try again. During these 5 minutes, you can go do anything bank stand related, which is right next to this. There's a bank's really close. I'll show you on screen right about now, right south. You can wait 5 minutes and just pull out this preset. So that's usually what you'll be doing. Now I'll be showing you the route that I use to get to Captain Daerkin and Captain Ninto. So Captain Daerkin's first, and he's located east of the duel arena. So what you want to do is use your Ring of Dueling, teleport to the duel arena, and run straight east to the location that you teleport in. Now I didn't do this in this video, but I recommend using the surge ability to teleport back closer to the gnomes. And I also want to make a mention here that the faster that you complete your delivery, the better your reward will be. That is confirmed. So you want to get there as fast as you can. And I also recommend using the mobile perk, because the mobile perk will cut your surge cooldown in half, so you'll be able to use the surge ability every 10 seconds. Also, if you want to get back to the Grand Tree fast from here, you can use the Gnome Glider. That is an Alcrid that is straight west of the duel arena. This is my route to get to Captain Ninto. So what you'll first want to do is use your runes and teleport to the house teleport, which you want to appear right outside your portal of Taverley. You can also use the Taverley tablet, and you'll want to go straight north and go into this cave, and then talk to Captain Ninto. He should be in the little bar right there, or he can be right at the entrance, so do make a note of that. I also want to make a note that at this time of recording, the graphical rework for White Wolf Mountain and Catherby has not happened, so I am not able to figure out if this place is changed because of that rework. If it is, then it may look a little graphical different. However, it's probably about the same exact thing. The last thing I want to make a note of is the reward token. So every 4 hard jobs that you get, you'll be able to claim 1 reward token, and each token lets you claim 1 free gnome food, and it'll be randomized, so it'll be any of the 20, and you'll claim 1 of it. So a gnome will deliver it to you, and it's really good for this because it'll be, like I said, randomized, and it could be some of the food that maybe it's harder to make or more annoying. Thank you guys so much for watching my Gnome Restaurant guide. So I do want to say quickly that this guide took me a pretty long time to make, so if it helped you in any way or you enjoyed at least its style, please leave me a like, because it would definitely mean the world to me. Like I said, this did take a very long time for what it was, so I hope you guys can appreciate that. And let me know in the comments if this helps you. Maybe it helps you get towards your gnome goggles or gnome scarf goals, or maybe you just really like this style. Do you want me to make more guides? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let me know in the comments. Let me know anything you want to know for this video. If there's anything I did wrong, I did right, anything you want, anything. Like I said, I read every comment. I'll probably reply to almost any comment. So, like I said, let me know in the comments. And also, before we go, there's 2 videos I have on the screen, and I will have annotations for both of them. On the right is actually my Ironman completion series. So, if it's your first time going to my channel, I have a series where I try to complete pretty much every single boss drop and minigame drop that is tradable. Pretty much the definition of my account of the series. And this video that I'm linking you to is actually the video where I went really hard on Gnome Restaurant. And I don't want to get any spoilers, but I'm just going to say it was a pretty good episode. There's a lot of Gnome Restaurant content and some good bad luck basically. And on my left is a Fletch Ramble series, which is the title of it. Basically, this series is one where you sit back and skate. And what I do is I talk about like behind the scenes, or I talk about my life, or I just talk about anything I want to talk about that's just maybe RuneScape related or related to me. So if you want to go try either one of those out, like I said, there'll be annotations of both of them. And like I said, especially if there's any other guides you want me to do, especially Ironman related, try to keep them Ironman related, because that's pretty much the only game mode I'm really good at right now, and I know a lot of knowledge. So that should be it for me, guys, and I hope I will see you soon. Take care, everyone.